Marvel fans, what is up? It's your boy Armand here for E equals MCU, and I think we have just discovered the third personality in Moon Knight. I think they've hinted at this and revealed this, and I went back and rewatched the scenes in question, and it looks like we have our potential third personality. Now, in the comics, Moon Knight had three personalities. When they did the run of him being, the different multiple personalities thing. And so far in the show, we've been introduced to two. But I did notice, and like I pointed out in my earlier video, that especially in episode 1, when he would look in the reflections, except for when he was talking to Mark specifically, sometimes they did show 3 reflections, but only one would respond. And there was a couple of scenes where they did that. And I thought that was just kind of like a hint. But there's a couple scenes here, and now that we have episode 2, that makes me believe or leads things up to say that there is a third personality that has not been revealed as of yet. And this all stems from the episode 1, the dating scene with Dylan. Now, if you remember, Steven was at work. The actress or the character called Dylan approaches him about a steak dinner date that he promised her and wanted to know if they were still on. Now, in this scene, she does not refer to him as Steven. She never says his name. And she just wants to know if they're still on. And he's confused. He doesn't know about this date. So he thinks she's asking him on the date. So it's the first he had heard of it. So that's Steven. Now, initially when you see this, you think, oh, okay, Mark set this date up. This had to have been Mark doing it. But with Mark being a mercenary and being on a mission that him and Khonshu was trying to do, he don't have time to be setting up no dates, okay? And not only that, point number 2 to that is that it's revealed that Mark is actually married to Layla. And we meet Layla in the 2nd episode. So I highly think it's doubtful that he was trying to set up a date with the character Dylan. So what does that mean? Well, potentially you have the security guard calling him Scotty, and he keeps calling him Scotty even when Steven corrects him and says Steven. He keeps calling him Scotty. So it looks like maybe Scotty is the third personality that was at work, which would make sense as to why he would be the one to set up the date and why the security guard knows him as Scotty. Like maybe he said, call me Scotty or something. And he's the one that set up the date, and neither Mark nor Steven knew about this date, which, leads to the events that happen as to say, hey, this is why, Mark blew off the date, and this is why, Mark had a mission, he's on a mission, and, of course, Steven knew nothing about it, so, but yeah, looking at those scenes, and then the fact that when Layla comes into the scene, Mark is, clearly he knows her, that's his wife, he's, trying to protect her from Khonshu and everything. Now, another thing I wanted to point out, like in my previous video, how I was saying how Layla seems to be kind of flat in her performance. I am starting now to think that is intentional and on purpose. And I'm thinking the reason why is maybe the whole thing is a lie, from the standpoint that she's pretending or acting to either Steven or Mark. And that's something I just have that's just a theory I'm kind of floating out there, that maybe she's not who she says she is, or she's not necessarily, working. Her intentions of what she's trying to do is not necessarily what's being shown so far. So all I know is Lizzie Hill just dropped a Twitter, shout out to Lizzie Hill, where she must have seen episode 5, and she raved about it, blew her away, mad twists coming. So it's like I know something's coming, and I'm hyped. I know something's coming, so now I'm starting to look at these episodes a little bit differently as to what's going on based upon that information. So that's where I'm at with it, guys. I just wanted to make a quick update video and just share that information, see if anybody else maybe agrees or disagrees or have heard something different. So there it is. Just wanted to put that out there. You know what it is. E equals MCU. We're in these internet streets. And my best Stephen Grant voice. Layla, Gators.